If you like this podcast, then consider checking out the other great podcasts at metalsharkstudio.blogspot.com. Also consider clicking the donate button while you're there. It would be really cool if you did.
Congratulations, Player 1. You have achieved max level.
You downloaded the podcast. Congratulations. Welcome to Max Level. Hey, it's me, Blake. Thank you. Man, sorry to leave everybody hanging last week with no show. But life kind of got in the way. It wasn't... I guess nothing really bad happened. It's just there was a lot going on here at the studio. It kind of filled my time, and I couldn't really get a lot of game time in. There wasn't really much of time. I was playing edit the podcasts all last week, so I was doing a whole mess of that. But in between shows, the Steam sale has come and gone, and I hope everyone out there is broke and happy with whatever games they picked up. Me, on the other hand, I didn't pick up anything. Doesn't mean there wasn't a lot that I didn't want, but just it seems like the Steam sale excuse me, for me always seems to hit when I'm broke every year. So I guess if I'm not mistaken, I think there's also a winter sale, so yeah, I guess I'll shoot for that one now and hope that I have some money by then, some extra money laying around. You know, none of the games are really outrageously priced either. I mean, some of them were just $2-3. There was a ton they had that were under $5, even under $10. But just, hey, good old Blake didn't even have $5 or $10 left to game. And it's not like there's games in my library anyway that I haven't touched yet, so we'll work through those. Anyway, I did have time to play one game. And I played this one game pretty much all week long, basically because it got my attention and just kind of held it. But I was looking at trailers. Well, I started out looking at the trailers from the games that came out at E3. And I was looking at a bunch of those, seeing what's coming basically next year. And I don't know how I ended up on it. Sometimes on YouTube, you just end up on the dark side of YouTube, where you click a link that's in a video to another video, and you kind of do that 4 or 5 times, and next thing you know, you're somewhere that you don't really know how you got how you got there. But I saw this trailer for a game. I watched the trailer in its entirety, and it's not a new game, but it's the game League of Legends. And the cinematic trailer they put out was really impressive. And I've heard of League of Legends and heard it was a lot like Dota. So I wanted to spend a little bit and check it out. So I downloaded it, I think leagueoflegends.com. That's the website. Took a little while to download. Well, the download was fast. It's just the installer part is what takes forever. And I forget how big it is. But it's by Riot Games, and it's the first game that I know of that I've ever played by them. But man, it's a lot like Dota, but it's also a lot not like Dota. Anyway, you got your champion. Now here's what I like about League of Legends over Dota. They've got their big selection of champions for you to play as, where Dota gives them to you in one big just hunk all at one time. League of Legends gives you just a handful, and you battle, do matches or whatnot, earn points or credits or whatever these things are to unlock more characters. Of course, you can buy your way into unlocking everything early. But it kind of, unlike Dota, League of Legends, having to play like that has given me something to go back to the game for. Knowing that not everything was unlocked right at the beginning, it kind of made me want to play some more of it. There was 2 different modes that I played. One was just the standard, destroy all the towers and then destroy the enemy base. And that's the pretty much standard one. And then there was another game. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Or another game type, at least. But on it, the towers were in like a circle, and your team is trying to take control of all these towers, and so is the opposite team. And you're kind of working your way around, fighting each other, trying to see who can control the most towers at a time. And I think your points are added the more you, or taken away the less you have, while the other team has more towers than you. I don't know. Anyway, there's 2 bars. They were counting down, and ours counted down last, so we won. But it's the first time I've played that game type with Dota, League of Legends-esque characters. Wow, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good character designs. A lot of the ones in Dota are recycled from World of Warcraft. Well, they look cool. When I say I mean Warcraft. Like, okay, all right. Sorry, jeez. Well, they're recycled from Blizzard games, let me say that, whereas the ones in League of Legends are all new designs. And there's some cool ones. There's some cool characters on there, so it's worth looking at if you hadn't played it. In Dota, you have the option of, you leave the shop, you buy you some stuff. If you've listened to the Hey, you should play this Dota, then now you should try League of Legends. So when you leave the shop, or leave the starting area at the beginning of the match, in Dota, you have the option someone can purchase a courier that things you buy from the shop, the courier will bring it to you. In League of Legends, you don't have that option. You just have to go back to the shop. But on the plus side, everybody on the enemy team has to go back to the shop to upgrade their characters, so it kind of leaves some of the lanes vulnerable. So it's interesting, a little different dynamic there. So, check out League of Legends. I played it for like a whole week straight, and I liked it. I also, I think I dabbled in Skyrim for a few minutes, but it locked up on the loading screen because I was downloading League of Legends at the same time. So I didn't play too much of that. Oh, Dirt Showdown. I reinstalled it, and one of the reason I reinstalled it, I never finished it, at least the campaignish part of the game. But I wanted to reinstall a game on Steam that I had started playing just to see if I downloaded it again, would all my save stuff be there? Or would I have to start the game just all over again? But on the good side, it was all there. All the cars I'd unlocked already, the tracks I had beat, all that was still done. So that's a game I still got on the hard drive just to, when I don't want to dedicate a lot of time into something, I just want to maybe do something real fast and just get in, get out. That's what I got Dirt Showdown back on the hard drive for. And I'll keep that on for a little while, probably until I finish it this time. And then probably never play it again. They gave that game away with a lot of, let's see, there was a couple promotions I saw here a while back where they were giving away Dirt Showdown. And I looked at the multiplayer part of it, and there's more people playing it, but still not enough to really, not have to wait for a match. So, I don't know. I'll just, like I said, finish the campaign part and move on from there. Ben Monroe's here. He just walked in. You want to do? Yeah. You got the news? Ben's got the news. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's Ben Monroe with your gaming news.
Hi there guys, and thanks for joining me. E3 week has finally come to a close, and it isn't always assured that one will walk away from E3 being excited about the world of video games. Sometimes it can leave you feeling, a little bit down about where games can be going. Not this year, however. 2014 was an excellent year for E3 and video games alike. But of course, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you guys that. If you missed out on anything from this year's E3, then I urge you to check out my rather extensive E3 2014 coverage by searching for expansive E3 2014 on YouTube. So, although the world of gaming, press, journalists, developers, and gamers alike may hold their breath just a little during the week of E3, and everything seems to come to a stop, everybody's quick to get back into the action once everybody's made it home safe and sound. So, as the work begins to ramp up once again, the news headlines start flying, of course. So, as always, for your listening pleasure, here is the news of the week. Alright, with so many fantastic AAA and indie titles coming our way during this year and in 2014, you may be getting a little bit worried about the effect it's going to have on your wallet. Well, one man who doesn't have to worry about this is YouTube's own PewDiePie. As this week it was reported by the Wall Street Journal that PewDiePie is the most lucrative gaming channel on YouTube. Yes, the famous gaming personality, bear with me here guys, Felix Kjellberg, more affectionately known as PewDiePie, has attracted nearly 30 million subscribers to his YouTube channel, which through ad revenue has seen him earn close to $4 million last year. The news has supposedly delighted many of his fans, yet inevitably he's also received quite a bit of backlash from the internet community. Mostly those people who are simply jealous that they cannot do what he does so well and earn money in the process. According to reports from YouTube, PewDiePie's funny, informative, and wholly puerile videos are extremely popular amongst 13 to 24-year-olds. Yet, people towards the latter end of that age group, particularly aged between 18 to 35, a large part of the general gaming audience and YouTube audience simply find his videos to be irate nonsense. But this is down to them just not being part of his target audience. PewDiePie's YouTube career began life almost 4 years ago now as a college dropout in Gothenburg, Sweden. At the time, he was selling hot dogs in order to fund his YouTube channel, even being reduced to padding the number of views on his videos by continually hitting that refresh button on the YouTube page itself. Since becoming a partner of Maker Studios, who themselves are owned by Disney, PewDiePie's success has grown in leaps and bounds, and Felix himself credits his success towards the personal relationship he's built up with his YouTube audience, claiming that unlike many professionally produced videos, he's established a much closer contact with the viewers, breaking down that wall between what's behind the viewer and what's on screen. YouTube Let's Play videos and Twitch streams have become extremely popular amongst the gaming audience, made evident by Sony's decision to integrate YouTube with the PlayStation, making it that much easier to stream videos through the PlayStation 4. And of course, both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One feature Twitch streaming services. So with the support from big console and gaming manufacturers like Microsoft and Sony, PewDiePie can only expect to see his viewer base grow. Which might just mean that he'd be able to afford a PC gaming rig that will be powerful enough to run Watch Dogs at the graphic settings which we were initially promised when the game was revealed during E3 2012. Do you remember how absolutely stunning that game looked? Well, no doubt you've realised by now that the finished product that we received was far from what we'd been expecting. But an up-and-coming Watch Dogs patch being put out by Ubisoft itself over the next couple of days, and if you're on PlayStation, the patch should already be released, will be fixing a few issues such as corrupt saves, but most importantly, those graphical issues. The patch addresses a few bugs that have made certain missions unplayable, and it will also bring back the ability to hack to the game, which I suppose is kind of important, being as the game is about a hacker. But the most interesting part of the patch is those PC-specific sections. When Watch Dogs was released on the PC, the game for many players was practically unplayable, and unplayable in some cases entirely altogether. But since this rather troublesome launch, patches have been released which do make the game playable, just not at the graphical fidelity that some might expect. However, certain modders have unearthed lines of code and files within the code of Watch Dogs itself that allows you to play Watch Dogs at that graphical quality that we originally saw during the E3 2012 reveal. Now, it seems that Ubisoft are simply coming clean about this, and in the patch they will be re-enabling those gorgeous graphic settings, which have been previously locked away, along with fixing graphical glitches experienced when playing on low or medium settings, and crashes experienced on SLI settings will no longer occur. But I suppose the biggest mystery about this patch is why on earth were those graphical settings locked away in the first place? Well, finally for this week, something else that will no longer be locked away is the world's largest video game collection, as it's now been sold for the princely sum of $750,250. The collection, which has been certified by the Guinness World Book of Records, contains over 11,000 different video games and went up for auction after the owner, New York-based Michael Thomas, was forced to sell due to family commitments. Michael Thomas has said that he had no desire to part with the collection, but the needs of both his immediate and extended family were simply too great. The collection, which began back in 1982, includes complete sets of games for over 20 different consoles that were released in the US, the likes of which include the Sega Saturn, Atari Jaguar, and even the 3DO. Apparently, a quarter of the collection is still brand new and factory sealed. The collection went up for auction on GameGavel.com with a starting price of just $1. However, 11 days later, the price had soon risen to over $750,000 and was eventually won by bidder Peeps_100919770, who's still surrounded in complete mystery. Despite selling his collection, Thomason has said that this is by no means the end of his game collecting. Man, 11,000 games, and I thought my own Steam library was too big. I'm sure a collection of such size is a feat that eventually we all aspire to achieve. But for now, I think we'll just have to play the games we own and keep on dreaming. But guys, don't dream for too long because, as always, you can join me next week where I'll be bringing you more gaming news. You can find me at XBenBlasterX, where I tweet regularly about all things video games, and as always, you can find more of my work over at expansivedlc.com. I've been Ben Monroe, and thanks for joining me, guys.
Ben Monroe, expansivedlc.com. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, that's it. That's it for today. Thanks, guy. Thank you, Ben. You know, listeners, what I forgot about, we're already this far into the show now, and there was something I forgot to do at the beginning of the show. So, you probably thought I forgot, but I remembered. So if you'll get out your hymnals, turn to page 256, and let's take a moment for the prayer for a great gaming session. Thank you, DJ Kaz. Amen. Amen, everybody. DJ Kaz, you can find her at KazCornell.com. Find out all the sweet beats that she's dropping over there. And all right, I can't believe I almost missed that. As with every episode of Max Level, I don't like to keep you long. So I'll give you a little fill-in on what's going on with me, I guess. And the news, thanks to Ben Monroe. Everybody go play League of Legends. Add me on there, Hesser. Imagine that. My name's Hesser on League of Legends. But anyway, before I go today, this show and Earwash, I and myself and Andrew put our heart and souls into these shows, and they're a labor of love. If you like what we do here, then by all means help support the shows. There's a donate button on the main page of the website. So give it a click and just help us out with whatever amount you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. We always need to upgrade equipment that we'd like to do. We talked about doing maybe a live chat during one of the shows, or just streaming it out live overall. There's some other projects we'd like to work on, some other great shows we want to work on, but we can't do it without your support. So like I said, if you like what we're doing here and you want us to keep going, then by all means click that donate button and help us out. If you can't donate, then you can also help out by bookmarking the Amazon link on the main page at metalsharkstudio.blogspot.com and do your shopping through that link. And we'll get a small kickback from Amazon, and that'll help go to support the shows. So, okay. There's a new earwash about to drop. Check that out. The podcast about podcast, where me and Andrew listen to stuff and then let you know what's the best of the best out there. We got a great interview coming up with Dale Andrews from the Paper Keg podcast on the Earwash, so be looking for that pretty soon. And a Skyrim Roundtable episode is about to drop on the Skyrim feed, so if you're a fan of that, then check that out here pretty soon. Well, all right, everybody, that is everything that I've got for this week. Like I said, short and sweet as usual. There's probably video games coming out. You should probably go look at another website and find out what those are. Maybe expansivedlc.com and see what video games are coming out. Anyway, all right, that's all I got for this week. Thanks, everybody.
Game over. Continue.
Metal Shark Studio.